So today we're gonna install the exhaust system on the 1969 Daytona. Royal actually stopped by, which is always great, you know, being able to work with him.
Awesome. It is
All right.
so nice to work with such clean stuff.
Oh yeah, you know, he doesn't get super sidetracked like, you know, some people, so it's pretty great. All right, so you wanna get one side, I'll get the other. We gotta kind of maneuver it in between the torsion bars and...
One of the things I love about the new systems that we're using, the ECS, is their attention to detail. You see that it has all the right crush zones in it, all the right saddle markings from being in the mandrel bender as it gets formed and shaped. It's made of the original material. The mufflers are date-coded mufflers with the vendor code on them. Same thing for the tailpipes. The higher the dollar of the car and the more accurate that you want it, like a Daytona Charger, this is the perfect system for it.
Ah, there you go.
One way to skin a Mopar.
Take it apart, put it together. Yep. Take it apart, put it together.
Now here's the deal. They do a phenomenal job. Cars don't come back. Those are all good things. But watching them work, it should be entertaining, right? I mean, it's a TV show. It's a TV show.
Okay, you want me to grab this?
You see me out there, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. This is like the variety show. I'm spinning plates. I got a dog dancing in a tutu. I'm trying to entertain you. These guys, it's just morbidly boring.
Yep. Whoops.
It's like watching paint dry. It just takes forever. Do something. Kick him in the ass, make fun of him, insult his bald head. Do something.
There we go.
Alrighty.
I'll hold that. I got mine.
You got yours?
I got one.
Okay.
When you're dealing with a car where they made 503 in the beginning and there's only a few left on the planet, and you're an OEM restoration shop, attention to detail is of the utmost importance. That's why we use that system. How I found out that they were making a great system was we were at SEMA a couple of years ago, and the owner of the company, the owner of ECS, Dave Walden, he built a concept four-door Barracuda in 1970. One of the most phenomenal jobs I've ever seen as far as craftsmanship and attention to detail. If Plymouth built a 70 Barracuda four-door, I can't help but believe it would look like this. He had mirrors underneath it, and you could see the exhaust system. He had to custom build an exhaust system, but follow a complete OEM principle from the very exhaust manifold all the way to the back of the exhaust tips, and he did. Absolutely incredible detail and quality, and so that's why we're going with those systems nowadays.
All right, want to move on to the mufflers?
Yep. We'll tighten those up after we put the mufflers on, right?
All right.
I think I still remember.
Do you? Hook the front, and then we can just set it right in the back over here.
Ow!
You want these?
Ow!
There we go. Oh, watch your hand, man. Doctor's gonna yell at you.
He said just don't screw up his work.
Mark says that to me a lot.
Don't mess up his work?
Yeah. As Royal and I are putting in the exhaust in the car, Mark actually walks in, and I just think, oh, here we go. More drama.
I'm looking for the cue ball.
Cue ball.
Looking for my #1 bowling ball, chromium downside. Rolo's back. Rolo is
Thanks,
back.
buddy.
You know, he points out the exhaust, and, you know, he thought it looked great and beautiful.
God, that's a nice system.
And then he started with the story saying Royal ratted him out to the police.
I was just telling Dougie about the time you ratted me out to the cops.
What?
Yeah.
Ratted you? I never ratted you out, buddy.
That, sir, is absurd.
What
I
is
just said it was some guy had a motorcycle on 14th Street.
Doing what? I'm like, oh, whoa. I didn't know if this was like some fabricated story that he came up with.
Oh, we were up riding the Bull Taco, wasn't it?
This is how it went down. It's about 1976. I've got a Bull Taco 125 Persang. I was 14 years old. I wasn't old enough to drive legally on the street, so I'd hop the alleys all the way down to 5th Street, and then 5th down to the old mill, and then up the hill I'd ride. Well, Bull Taco 125 Persang is about the loudest bike on the planet. So you don't get the luxury of doing that. I wanted to go riding with Royal. I said, meet me at the top of South 4th Street.
Yeah, I think we were 15. We were up there riding the Bull Taco.
If you primed it one little dot too much, one little push too much, it would flood the engine out. So I says to Royal, I'm going to coast start it. You get coasting down South Fork, it's a steep hill, so you got plenty of momentum. You come down on that seat, at the same time you pop that clutch. It's like popping a clutch in a car, right? Right before I make the final turnaround in the road to come back up, I see a cop. I see the cop, I make a split decision, up the hill.
Cop started coming up the road, so he goes,
Royal, don't say anything, I'll be back.
I'll meet up with you later.
After about an hour, I decide that it's gotta be safe to come back. So I says, man, what the heat want, man? What the fuzz want?
So I started walking down the hill, and cop stopped me and says, hey, what's your buddy? I said, he's not my buddy. I don't know him, he just had a motorcycle for sale. All I did is tell him that he lived on 14th Street somewhere.
No, that was the reason I ran.
How do you pick a guy out of 3-mile long stretch of road?
You didn't tell him my last name, of course.
Although you can't miss his.
First name and last name, what else you tell him? Your phone number? Yeah.
So the cop just took my name, that was it, left.
Did you happen to get a chance to give him my address? Yeah, he wanted to know where it was, 640 North 14th Street.
Did they ever show up on your front door?
Yes, they called my house.
No, they didn't.
My mother got a phone call from the Springfield Police Department reciting that I ran from them.
I didn't give him anybody's phone number.
Fink. You gave me my phone number. You gave me my social security number.
How would I get his first social security number?
As you were, gentlemen.
As you remember it.
Yeah, as I remember it, is based in fact and history.
Turns out there's some truth to it, but you know, you can never really get the true story. I'll have to talk to Royal later.
I never ratted him out to the cops.
Okay, well, you enjoy yourselves. Have fun putting that system on. You're doing a great job. You rat.
He ran from the police. I talked to him. I had to stand there and make up a story on the fly. I'm not as full of crap as Mark is. I can't think that fast.
I'm gonna have to side with Royal on this one. He seems like a pretty reliable guy.
Oh, this is going really quick.
Oh yeah, I love these systems.
There's such awkwardness and dead silence whenever Royal's involved in something, or Dougie, or Justin, or anybody but me.
And Grammy prints all over it.
Like I said before, the mama jokes, you know, come up with a few of those. If you don't have those, do some knock-knock jokes. Like Jimmy Gum, knock-knock. You're Clarice, don't you know that? You're knocking on my door. She comes in, she sees a butterfly and starts popping off caps at people. Next thing you know, Jimmy Gum dead in the basement. And what is the question again now?
So Royal and I got the exhaust in the car.
I can't get that right there.
It went pretty smooth. We had a couple hiccups here and there.
How come everything I do is difficult? Yours goes right in.
There we go.
You going?
Yeah. Yeah, you're in there. You know, it's always nice having two people work on these H-pipe systems, just because you got to maneuver it in there. With this being done, I can actually move on to interior stuff, which I'm really excited about.
So with every build that you do, if you're an assembly technician, the funnest part is once that body and paint's done, is putting all the trim and ornamentation on it, because it really starts to come to life, begins to look like a car.
So the Daytona has really unique ornamentation, such as the fender scoops.
So these fender scoops have studs screwed into them, molded into them. And when they set down, they go through the holes that are already made by the factory. These are the original fenders. And then you put the captive washer style nuts on the back.
You have to be really careful installing these.
And to be clear, when these fit the way they do, it's because we pre-fit them. They didn't fit that good from the factory. You would bolt them down and there would be a gap underneath them. In this case, we had the scoop on the fender and took time to sand it completely to match the shape of the top of the fender. Now when we put those nuts on, it'll suck down into position exactly where it's supposed to go.
Okay. That's that one. Oh, that one, cleaning those threads really works good. Since these are painted off the car, I took the time and I cleaned the threads up. If not, it really gums up the nut that you're trying to, you know, tighten those things down with. And then you could potentially stripping it out or busting it off. Cool. Since the Daytona actually has the add-on with the nose cone, it doesn't have the latch. It's got no vertical support for the latch. So the only thing that keeps this hood down is the hood pins. So they actually have to be down enough to keep the hood in line with the fenders and the nose cone to keep it down. So it's a little bit more of a process actually putting these on, lining them up, making sure they look really good because they got to keep it down. I say actually a lot, don't I? I really have to be careful while mounting these. If the screwdriver slips or you got to re-drill those holes, if something slips and scrapes the top of that hood, it's got to go back for body work and repaint. You got to be careful that you also don't over tighten the screws, or else you're going to see wrinkles in the tops of the hood as well.
One thing to make note of on the Daytona is the side markers that you see are not actual side markers, they're reflectors. And we have to paint them the same color as the stripe. So if this car had a white stripe on the back of it, like Tom Partridge's car, we'd have to paint those housings white. In this case, we painted them black.
So I just got done installing the side marker lights and everything turned out really nice.
Hello ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Carz. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey Alice!